Welcome back everyone to my channel Chemistry Made Simple for NEET. I am Dr. Subramaniam with a PhD in Chemistry. In today's session we are continuing with quick revisions on Redox reaction Unit 8 Class 11 NCERT. Already I have uploaded part 1. Those who haven't watched part 1, do go back and watch the video, and then today we are going to continue with part 2. That this is the final part. And before moving on with today's portion, I'd just like to say that always it is essential to know the chemistry chapters before you begin your preparations for NEET, and you should know the number of questions which comes from each chapter of the past years. And the next crucial part is to identify the importance of class 11th and 12th chapters. Students usually focus on board exams and most of them skip class 11 topics. Class 11 topics should be made thorough if you want to score well for NEET, and you should know the weightage of concepts from class 11 and class 12. And now we will continue with the next part of redox reaction. So already we were talking about oxidation, that is increase in oxidation state. So what is oxidation state? It is a charge an atom or element will have if it existed as an ion in a compound, that is if it is covalently bonded. And we also call oxidation state as oxidation number. So just understand oxidation state, that is the charge which an atom of an element will have if it existed as an ion in a compound. Okay, for example, if you take H2O, water, and what is the oxidation state of oxygen here is, it is -2. So that is the charge that oxygen is having in the compound water. Now redox reaction already we saw that it involves transfer of electrons, and oxidation is always accompanied by reduction. So both of them occur simultaneously, that is why we call it a redox reaction. And oxidation means loss of electrons. See here, Mg plus Cl2. We were looking at this equation in our last session, and I had told you that I'll be explaining about this particular equation. What happens here? So Mg plus Cl2. Now Mg is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. Here each magnesium atom will lose 2 electrons to form a magnesium ion. You can see that magnesium atom, it loses 2 electrons to form Mg2 plus ion. So here what happens is that magnesium atom has been oxidized to form magnesium ions. So you understood how you get this. Now oxidation, we were talking about the loss of electrons. You can see another equation like copper plus silver nitrate giving copper nitrate and silver. You have to find out which substance is oxidized. So now here we will consider only copper and silver. We won't consider nitrate part. Now you see that each copper atom, you are taking the ionic equation for this reaction. See, copper plus Ag plus gives Cu2 plus and silver. You can see that copper atom loses 2 electrons and forms Cu2 plus ion, whereas silver silver atom, it gains electron and it becomes just silver. So here what happens is that copper is oxidized to copper ion. Okay, copper atom gets oxidized to copper ion. Hope you understood this concept. Now we have got various definitions of oxidation and reduction. I have been keeping on repeating this because this is very important and you should remember this well. Now redox reaction, we divide it into oxidation part and reduction part. Oxidation part involves gain in oxygen or loss in hydrogen or loss in electron or increase in oxidation state, whereas reduction part involves loss in oxygen. See, gain in oxygen for oxidation means loss in oxygen for reduction. Don't get confused with this concept. Then it can be gain in hydrogen, gain in electron or decrease in oxidation state. These 4 are for reduction. Okay, now here we have, like you see again, oxidation, reduction, gain in oxygen, loss in hydrogen, loss in electron. For reduction, loss in oxygen, gain in hydrogen and gain in electron. Okay, so oxidation is loss and reduction is gain. Oxidation, just remember oil versus rig. Okay, just this is a simple trick to remember this. Oil, rig. Oil means oxidation is loss, rig is reduction is gain. So that's a simple technique for you to remember the difference. Now again we were talking about what is oxidation. And substance, when it is oxidized, if one of these happens, gaining oxygen, losing hydrogen, losing electrons, or increasing oxidation state. And oxidation, as we said, is gain of oxygen. See, here we are having one equation, methane plus oxygen giving carbon dioxide and water. Here the hydrogen atom in methane, it is gaining oxygen, and hydrogen is oxidized to water, okay, and hydrogen gets oxidized to water, and whereas the carbon atom here in methane, it is gaining oxygen and it is oxidized to carbon dioxide. Now I think you understood well about the explanation of this equation. Now another equation we have is 2 calcium plus oxygen giving CaO, and by the end of the reaction, calcium is gaining oxygen and calcium is oxidized to calcium oxide. We call this process oxidation. So I have taken many simple examples for you to understand the concepts of oxidation and reduction. And do write all these concepts and learn, because only if you write it and learn, it will be there in your memory. Because you know, when you just read this, you will feel that okay, I understood this concept clearly, but after a few days you will just forget this, because we don't have time. You have to cover so much of portions and do revisions. So it's better that you write it and learn, so that you won't forget all these concepts. Now there are a few rules for finding the oxidation number. So I have heard many students telling me that it's very difficult to calculate the oxidation number in compounds and all that, because you have to remember all these rules only, then you can easily calculate it for your exams. So the first rule is that in elements, that is free state or uncombined state, the oxidation number is always 0. For example, you see just H2 or O2, here the oxidation number would be 0 for that. Then for ions which has only one atom, the oxidation number will be equal to the charge on the ion. Then for oxygen in superoxides and peroxide, oxidation state is assigned to oxygen as -1 or half. See, for some exams they ask whether half can be an oxidation number. So many students think that only one whole number can be oxidation number. No, but even it can be half. So just remember that. Now fourth rule is that the second exception with oxygen is with fluorides and di-fluorides. See, oxygen mostly, almost always it has got an oxidation state of -2, but here with fluorides and difluoride, it is having +2 oxidation and +1 oxidation states. Then the fifth rule is the number assigned to oxygen will depend upon the bonding state of oxygen, but this will have a positive number. So remember that. And the oxidation state of hydrogen is always +1, but when it is bonded with elements with binary compounds like lithium, beryllium and all that, hydrogen gets an oxidation state of -1, because lithium, it always has a positive oxidation state, and at that time hydrogen will get a negative oxidation state. Okay, fine. Now we will see certain rules for oxidation number. As I already said, free elements like molecular elements, all these elements, hydrogen, oxygen, okay, ozone, nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, phosphorus, sulfur, these all have oxidation number, because these are all in the free state. Without combining, they are individually existing, so that oxidation number would be 0. So see, oxidation number of fluorine is always, remember, it is -1. Then for hydrogen, it is always +1, except in hydride compounds like as I already said, like lithium and all that, it is -1. With H2O, NH3, H2S, HCl, HNO3, H2O, so forth, it is +1. And in hydride compound like lithium along with sodium, magnesium, oxidation number of hydrogen is -1. So remember well all these concepts. Now in all its compounds, fluorine has oxidation state of -1, and other halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are all having oxidation state -1. Remember that, except oxo anions and oxo acids. Then the algebraic sum of the oxidation number, this is an important rule, all of you should remember this, that when you add it up, the sum should be 0 in a compound, and on the basis of that only we calculate the values of oxidation number. If an unknown oxidation number, you are asked to find out an oxidation number of any element in a given compound, using this concept only we find it out. And in polyatomic ions, the algebraic sum of all oxidation numbers of atoms must be equal to the charge on the ion. And remember that we will be solving this using a few examples, and I will be uploading some simple tricks to find out all these, so that you will find this really easy. Now generally metallic elements of group B has oxidation number more than one type. See the table here, elements of group B zinc, silver, copper, gold, iron, lead and all that. The oxidation number for zinc is +2, for silver it is +1, copper is +1 +2, gold is +1 +3, iron is +2 +3 and lead is +2 +4. Remember this. Then oxidation number of monoatomic ion, it is equal to charge on that ion. For example, Na plus. What is the charge? 1 plus. So it is its oxidation number will be +1. For barium, what is the charge here? +2. So oxidation number is +2. For iron, +3. So oxidation number is +3. Chlorine minus. Oxidation number is -1. S2 minus sulfur. Oxidation number is also -2. Just remember this very important concept. Now this is one or two small sums to find out the oxidation number of an element. So as we already learned that sum of oxidation number of element atoms in a compound molecule is equal to 0. Here suppose we are going to find out that of H2O. So oxidation number of hydrogen, it is +1 for one hydrogen. How many hydrogen atoms are there? 2 are there. So for hydrogen it is 2. Then oxidation number of oxygen, okay, only one oxygen atom is there, so it is -2. So hydrogen is +2, oxygen is -2. So the total algebraic sum will be +2 -2, that is 0. Then another example we will see. OH minus, how many oxygen atom? Only one is there. Then oxygen atoms oxidation state is -2. So -2 into 1, only one oxygen atom, it is -2. For hydrogen, how much it is? It is +1. Okay, so +1 into 1 is 1. So what is the algebraic sum here? Plus -2 plus 1, that is -1 itself. So here you can see that the sum of oxidation number of element atom in polyatomic ion, it is equal to the charge on that ion. So hydrogen is having minus charge, so the charge will be equal to -1. Okay, now we will move on to another example. H2SO4, hydrogen plus 1. So how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2. So 1 into +2 is 2. And here sulfur we don't know, we have to find out the oxidation number of sulfur. We just take it as X or something like that. For one oxygen atom it is -2. So 4 oxygen atoms are there, so it is -8. So +2 plus X minus 8, +2 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0. So keeping X on this side, +2 minus 8 is -6. When you change it to the other side, it becomes +6. So the oxidation number of sulfur in sulfuric acid is +6. So this is very simple to do. Please do write this, without getting lazy, and then learn it. You will find it really easy. Try to do it without looking at this. Cr2O7 2 minus. So here you can see that oxidation number of oxygen is -2, and chromium we take it as X. So chromium is X, oxygen 2 minus, and oxidation number of element in ion is charge of that ion. So 2 into 2 are there, so 2 into X. For chromium we have taken it as X, plus 7 into -2 is equal to, you have to take this as -2. All the cases we take 0. Here since the oxidation number of it's given here, you have to take it as, if it is given like this inside brackets on top, if it is given here, this is what you have to take on the right hand side. See here for H2SO4 there is nothing, so that is why you are taking this as 0, but here we are having 2 minus, so take that 2 minus over here. Okay, now 2x plus -14 is equal to -2. Now 2x is 14 minus 2, that is 12. 2x is equal to 12, x is equal to 6. So the oxidation number of chromium is 6. Okay, how will you balance the redox reaction? First of all, what you have to do is, you have an equation like this: Fe2 plus MnO4 minus gives Fe3 plus Mn2 plus. Divide this equation into oxidation part and reduction part into 2 halves. So what is the oxidation part? Fe2 plus is increased to Fe3 plus. So that is the +2 is getting increased to +3. That is the one given in the red is the oxidation part. Here for manganese from +7 it is getting reduced to +2. So that is the reduction part. So we will separate these two. Fe2 plus gives Fe3 plus, MnO4 minus gives Mn2 plus. Now we have to first balance the half reactions. For that, what you have to do is, first you have to balance the atoms. leave out oxygen and hydrogen. Other than oxygen and hydrogen, you balance the atoms. You can see that Mn both are nothing on the left side, so only one Mn and one Mn, it's already balanced. Okay, now what you have to do is listen carefully. This is very important step. I'll be uploading this as a separate trick and I'll teach you how to do this, but presently just listen here. You can balance oxygen by adding water to the side which lacks oxygen. See, look at both sides. Here this side has got oxygen, this side doesn't have oxygen. So when you balance that, you add oxygen, you add water to the side which lacks oxygen. So add water here. How many water you will add? Since there are 4 oxygen, to balance it you have to add 4 water molecules. Now next step what you have to do is you have to balance hydrogen now. What will you do for balancing hydrogen? You add hydrogen H plus to the side which lacks hydrogen. So this side doesn't have hydrogen. See how many hydrogen atoms are there? 4 2s are 8. So 8 H plus should be added to the left side because this side doesn't have hydrogen. Okay, so if it is lacking oxygen, add water to the opposite side which doesn't have oxygen. And once it is done, then you have to balance oxygen. Balance already after oxygen is balanced, you have to balance hydrogen by adding H plus which lacks to whichever side that lacks H plus. Okay, now this is very easy to solve. I hope you understood this, and with that we are coming to an end of this unit. So I will be uploading many questions and important MCQs and tricks, simple tricks for you, so that you can solve all these very easily. And again I request you all to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Please do share it with all your friends, and also don't forget to press the bell icon so that as soon as I post new videos you will get notifications immediately. After finishing this, I will be uploading the another session for MCQs as well as simple tricks. Then thanks for watching my video. With that I am winding up today's session.